Hey girlfriends, welcome to the Soft Life with Mi'esha. Today we're talking about something that I wish I heard a lot more about. Being married and still dating yourself. Yes, we are married ladies, but it's okay for us to date ourselves, and actually we very much should be dating ourselves. This journey for me started last year with me being intentional with just finding out what I like, what I don't like, what I like to do, what my hobbies are. I really didn't have any hobbies. I am the person that would make sure that everybody else is good. I would make sure that my calendar was clear, or even if it was full, I'm still going to add something to it because this person needs me, that person needs me, and I want to make sure that I'm showing up for the people that I love and I care about most in my life. But what I realized last year was I hadn't been doing that same thing for myself. And so disclaimer, I've been in therapy for 5 years. June will be 5 years. Yes, will be 5 years that I've been in therapy. And so through those 5 years, I've been working on a lot of things. So the person that I am today is not the same person that I was 5 years ago, or even a year ago, or even last month. And so in therapy, last year in particularly, I realized that I didn't have any identifiable hobbies. I had things that I like to do, but I didn't know of things that were just bring me joy without having to have my husband next to me, or my friends, or my family next to me. And so last year I started the journey to really hone in to find out, like, what does Mi'esha like? What does Mi'esha not like? What does happiness look like for her outside of her husband, outside of her marriage, outside of her work, outside of her friends and family? And so last year I was really intentional about that. Of course, initially it was scary. I don't know why it was so scary, because I am an only child, so I'm used to doing things by myself and being by myself. But I think it was just the idea of being like out in public. If I decided to do a solo date outside of the house, being out in public by myself and people looking at me like, why is she by herself? Or even just figuring out what kind of things to do by myself in the house. So it's been a journey, to say the least, but I'm glad that I definitely was intentional last year about it, and that's something that I have continued even to today. I've had lots of solo days. I've had solo days inside the house. I've had solo days outside of the house. And while I don't exactly remember my first solo day, I definitely remember my first, I guess, grand solo date. So it was last year, March. And it was very spontaneous, like going with the flow, which is typically not who I am. I've been stepping into being spontaneous, a bit more spontaneous, a bit more less of a planner. So last year I had a solo date, a whole day solo date. And this day I woke up, I decided to go to this black owned coffee shop. And I don't even drink coffee, but I decided I'm gonna go. It's black owned, it's down the road, not too far away. I'm gonna go. So I decided to go to the coffee shop. I don't even know what I got, some kind of fake coffee, because I don't drink coffee, and some kind of pastry. And then while I was there, I did some journaling. I did some reading of my devotional, just like being able to just be by myself. Then I was like, what do I want to do next? So the next thing I did, I went to get my nails done. My nails and feet needed to be done. After that, I went to the Goodwill. I was like, I want to window shop. So I'm not waiting for anybody. Nobody's waiting for me. So I'm going to go window shopping. So I went to like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, the Goodwill. Just piddle paddling around. And so that day of that solo day, I knew that there was a concert in town that I wanted to see. And one of my best friends, she's been telling me about like getting a ticket at the last minute, like on the day of. And so maybe like around lunchtime, I decided, okay, I really want to go to this show. It was Burna Boy. Love him. I really want to go to this concert, but I'm going to try my luck at it. Like, I don't have to wait for nobody. I'm not going to text and see if somebody want to go with me. I'm going to go by myself. So, the day is going. I'm going throughout the solo days, spontaneous trip here, spontaneous trip there. And so maybe around like 4:30, I started like looking at the tickets. I'm looking at the tickets. I'm hungry. I needed to eat. Left my window shopping. Went to this seafood restaurant. Sat there by myself. People watching. Real fun. So I'm still checking the tickets throughout the day. Then I go home and, I'm just chilling, relaxing, still kind of tracking the tickets. Like, I'm like, if I go, I go. If I don't, I don't. But I'm going to try it. Y'all, it was about 5:30, 5:45. I saw the tickets. I got the tickets. I got me one ticket, a solo seat by myself on the floor for Burna Boy, an hour and a half, 2 hours before the show for $100. My husband, he said he was going to be my Uber driver, so I just wore what I had on all day. Wasn't fancy, no makeup, no nothing. Jumped in the car, put a little mascara on in the car. My husband drove me downtown. And I walked in and I went to the concert by myself, and it was so much fun. Like, I had the time of my life. Like, I'm a huge Burna Boy fan. I love music. I love all different types of music. But to be able to decide at the last minute, hey, I'm going to go to this concert. I don't have to wait for nobody. I don't got to worry about nobody being late. I don't got to be coordinating if somebody going to be dressed up or dressed down. The only thing I had to make sure was my husband was going to take me down there. I was going to take myself, but he was like, yeah, no, you're not doing that. So I appreciate him for being my Uber driver. But yes, had the time of my life, and that was definitely the most memorable solo date. And so in that, like, that solo date alone taught me that, like, I don't have to have permission to go somewhere, or I don't have to wait for somebody to decide I want to go to an experience. If it's a concert that I want to go to and I decide at the last minute that I want to go, and if I have the means to be able to do that, I'm gonna go. I can wear what I want to wear. I'm going to get there at the time that I want to get there. If I want to get there an hour before it starts, that's my business. I don't have to worry about people saying, like, why we got to get there that early? Because I want to be there when I want to be there, and I'm by myself. So that was definitely my most memorable solo date. Since being intentional about dating myself, even as a married woman, a happily married woman, I've been married for 8 years, almost 8 years, y'all, and happily married. But since being intentional with dating myself, it has definitely taught me to be more self-aware of myself. So I am a very caring person. I care about all of my people in my life, like my children at work, my husband, my family, my friends. I care a lot about them. And so I'm very self-aware of them. So I can notice when my husband's not feeling the greatest, or when something's on his mind, or my mom or my grandma or my kids at work. Like, I'm very self-aware. I'm very aware of when people, have good days, have bad days. But I was realizing, like, for me, I wasn't as in tune with myself as I am with everybody else. And so doing these solo dates has definitely shown me that I have to be more in tune with myself. And in order for me to be in tune with myself, it's actually beneficial, not only for me, but it's also beneficial for those in my circle. So my husband, he's benefited from that. I'm able to self-reflect when I am by myself, and, like, things cross your mind. And so after my solo days, I have conversations with him, like, oh, I realized this. I do like this. Actually, I don't like this. Just different things like that. And these solo dates have shown me that, like, I don't need permission to do what I want to do. Like, if I want to get up and go to the movies by myself, I'm going to go. If I want to have a spa night in my girl pad, I'm going to do that. Like, I don't have to have permission. I don't have to have someone with me to do something that brings me joy. Something that I've debunked over time, like with being intentional about these solo dates. Like, I always felt like in order for me to have fun, or in order for me to feel happy or feel joyful, I have to have someone with me. So I have to be watching TV with my husband, or if my husband's playing a game, which is his happy place, I have to be right next to him because I feel good with him. But I've learned that I can find my own joy. Like, I can be by myself and doing things by myself to be happy by myself. Like, I don't need someone else to solicit happiness to me. I'm sure people are like, how you going on a date by yourself and you married? Like, what your husband say? And that's something that people say to me, like, at work. Like, some of my close co-workers, they're like, well, what did your husband think about you doing these things by yourself? He's very supportive of it. Obviously, like, we're in 2025, so we have the technology and things like that. And me and him are big communicators with each other. And so he's super supportive of it. He actually was the one last year who encouraged me to start finding things that I like to do by myself. So like detaching myself from him in the sense that, like, yes, me and him, we have our time together, we enjoy each other, but he has a hobby. Like, he loves video games, he likes reading, he likes, you know, The Office. He'll watch that 27,000 times, but he has things that he does that brings him joy, that I don't necessarily have to be right next to him, and he feels happiness, he feels joy. But I couldn't say that same thing about myself. And so he's very supportive. With the Burna Boy concert, of course, he was like, you know, okay, I'm going to drive you downtown and track your location. Let me know when the concert is almost over. Or he was, you know, checking in with me, tracking my location, coming to pick me up. So yeah, he's very supportive of me and my solo dates. And yeah, I'm just blessed to have him. Obviously, I've had a lot of solo dates from last year to today, and I can go on and on about the different solo dates that I've had. A lot of them have been outside of the house just because that gives me a change in scenery. Like, I don't feel like I'm always in the house. But the ones that have been outside of the house, they don't necessarily cost money. Like that day I went to Burna Boy concert, like obviously that was cost some money. But I've had solo dates where I've gone to the park and walked 5.5 miles with my cat. I've had solo dates where I've gone to a local coffee shop, even though I don't drink coffee, but they have hot chocolate or something like that. I've done solo dates where I've gone to a bookseller, like a Black-owned bookseller. And so just being out there and finding different opportunities, different experiences that maybe I wouldn't have even thought to do, but I don't have to wait for somebody, so I can do it by myself. Yeah, I've also done some solo dates in the house where I've binge watched shows. I've done a paint by number activity. Painting, side note, painting is very anxious provoking to me, like just having a blank canvas and painting something. However, my husband, he bought me a paint by number a couple of Christmases ago, and your girl didn't even take it out until a couple of months ago. And I did it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so calming. It was so relaxing. It was so grounding for me. I was only focused on those numbers. Wasn't worried about all the other things that life was throwing my way. So I've done a lot of solo dates, and I want you to let me know in the comments if you have done a solo date, and if so, which was one of your most favorite ones. And then if you have not done a solo date, will you be willing to try one after watching this video? And if so, let me know what you would like to do. And then if you don't have any ideas of what you would like to do for your solo dates, let me know and I'll give you some ideas too. If you're loving the content that was in this video, hold on tight because your girl got more videos coming your way. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channels. I'll be having more videos coming out ever so often. Also, subscribe to my email newsletter where I'll be sending goodies, tips, tricks, all the things, meetups, everything in between. So make sure you click the link below to get on my email list. You never know when I'm going to throw some freebies your way. Never know when you'll be the first one to access things. And then also make sure you follow me on all socials. I'm at Mi'esha.Gabriella on TikTok and on Instagram. And on those platforms, you will see some of my solo dates that I've done, some of my self-care things that I do, and just me getting to know me and my family and my life. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, girlfriend, stay soft.